Okay, so then moving on to, so when I'm coaching people, I'll say, oh my word, that's just awesome. You know, you've got your first deal, or you've just achieved that, or wow, what a beautiful service accommodation unit, or you've just, you know, got your first purchase lease option, whatever it is. And then I immediately say, God, I don't remember seeing you posting that on Facebook. And, you know, we've got like I'm part of many communities, but one of them is the Touchstone community. I don't remember you posting it on there. Oh, no, I haven't done it yet. And generally at this stage, things start to sort of come out. And there's lots of stuff where it might be kind of a bit of self-sabotage. It might be like, nobody wants to hear about me. It might be the way they look. And I really like, you know, your business partner, Anita, she talks about that. If you're worried about the way you look, that's your own issues to overcome. Nobody else cares about them. And I thought, gosh, that's a really nice way of putting it. I really kind of like that. But as far as this kind of, all of these elements of maybe our own self-sabotage or imposter syndrome, all of these kind of things, and also kind of knowing enough. I know for me, one of the things that's really key is, even if you're only 2 steps ahead of somebody, that's inherently really helpful to people, because somebody
probably more helpful.
Yeah, exactly. Because somebody who's really, really far ahead and who's maybe jetting off in their private jet all the time is maybe just a little bit too far away from you. So, but somebody, if you're starting out and they've got 4 serviced accommodation units, you might be able to sort of really relate to them. So how do you address this kind of concern about putting yourself out there, the imposter syndrome, you know, this whole self-sabotage? How do you address that?
Which is really common, for one, so I don't think that like you're the only person that's feeling like that, because I would say most people do feel like that, and if they don't feel like it all the time, they do have moments of panic where they kind of feel like that. But I guess the main thing really is just have to get over yourself, and remember, you're not bragging about you personally. This is part of marketing yourself and your business to get what. So it comes back to, I guess, the why. So why are you even wanting to have 100 serviced accommodation units? Why did you even go on this journey? What's the, and not just the basic, oh, because I wanted to do property, but actually your real why. Like, is it because you want to leave a legacy? Is it because you want to do, you know, you don't come from money and you actually want to make sure your whole family is secure, whatever it may be. Revert back to that, and that's the reason why you're getting out there. And if you still don't feel comfortable with it, we often say to people, think about how you would write a post about if it was one of your family members that you liked. So like if it's your daughter, or, you know, your mom or something, how you would champion them differently in terms of the way that you'd say, oh yeah, post about it, tell everyone, you know, you would champion them. So you've almost got to champion yourself the same way, and just see it as part of business. Really, you can't have a successful business if you don't do sales and marketing, and that is just fact. So I think one of the problems with the property education sort of community as a whole, all of them, is the fact that obviously they've got, I can't blame them, of course they've got to sell their courses, but they sell the courses and people believe, oh, I'm going to get property to get this thing. But yes, you are doing property, but ultimately it is a business. So you are a business now, so businesses need to do sales and marketing. So although you like the idea of just going and doing a few viewings, buying the property, well, guess what, if you want to scale and it be a business, you've got to act like a business, and you've got to have like you'd have finance, you know, you'd have a finance arm, you'd have part of it, you've got to have an accountant, you've got to have sales and marketing as well, otherwise you're going to really struggle.
Absolutely. And I know Paul, who was up on stage earlier, Paul Merrick, he absolutely loves that, and he champions that the whole time. It absolutely is a business, and it is sort of all about kind of moving forward. And yeah, I suppose what's interesting with this whole kind of a bit of imposter syndrome and all of that, I love the fact that you say you've got to get over yourself, but inherently what we say to ourselves, and definitely Denise Duffield Thomas that we were talking about earlier, she's a huge sort of amplifier of this. What you say to yourself, you know, will come about, and if you're not getting the results that you're wanting, it's to maybe take a little bit of look at that kind of self-talk. And sometimes that self-talk can come out verbally, and so whenever I see that in a somebody that I'm coaching, I'm literally like, would you say that to your kids, or would you say that to your granny?
Yeah.
Would you say that to anyone? And they kind of look a bit shocked and say, well, no. Well, clearly never say it to yourself. And it's, you wouldn't believe, like, even now, I like,
even in jest.
Yeah.
Like when people just joke it and think, no, don't, because, you know, it'll come about, you'll manifest it.
Yeah, but it is so weird. Like even now I'm looking at, I just looked at my face and immediately I thought, oh, my cheeks are looking a bit chubby. And I let that rest for a moment. And then I went, no, actually, you just look really like really smiley, and that's a really great thing. So you have to be so careful everything that you're saying to yourself, because even those little things can really manifest it down, and you've got to be aware how that can spread out, especially like, you know, for me, I've got kids, and we were talking about our kids earlier, and that is, if you can't do it for yourself, think about somebody else that you can do it for, because you know, I always think
also, like, you know, how you talk to yourself, you've got like you're a role model to your children, and like especially your daughter and whatnot. So if you're beating yourself up about how might you look and things, then she's going to question how she looks too. So you've got, but there's the opposite to that. She might create a monster like I have, because my daughter just thinks she's awesome, so which she is. But like, you know, it's funny, isn't it? How like you know, but it's good because she's got instilled in her self-confidence. So we used to have a mentor. She's not far from us where we are, and she used to run a networking meeting here in Leicestershire. She didn't do it anymore. She just other things. Actually, she's one of our. We've got serviced accommodation, and she owns the home. But she used to say, "Yeah, and it sounds really like, I don't know, old school self-development stuff, but every morning she would just look at herself in the mirror and tell herself how gorgeous she was and how fantastic she was. And you know what, you can really see it for her. You can really see it. Like me and Anita both sort of say, when we're her age, that's what we want to be, because she's like, I don't know how old she is, but she must be like 20 years old, whatever, but probably not that much. She's not listening, but you know, like she's old as Jet Cash. She's fearless. The way she just comes about is fantastic. So you got to take it, you know, take that. And if it's not comfortable, you got to get comfortable with it, you know, because if you don't champion yourself, who else is going to? Right. You don't believe in you. We all want people to believe in us. People are looking, often we help people find investors. Well, if you're not believing in yourself, why are they going to give you £100,000 to run a project if you lack self-belief? So we've got to get it from somewhere, I guess.
Amazing. Okay, so we've really sort of understood, you know, where we want to go. We want to do this marketing. That's basically bringing people through the door. When we're having self-doubts, we've got to get over ourselves and, you know, go off and help ourselves there. Obviously, we want to be doing our own brand. We might have our business brand, but inherently we're championing that and taking that forward, because you're not necessarily going to have, you know, Emma Howitt on the front door of my property, but inherently you're there sort of going with that. So what then? Let's think about. So you've mentioned kind of investors. So how or as just an example, or however you want to do it, what would then be the plan of action? Okay, so we've sat down, we've realized we've done the course, we've realized that, you know, we're doing property, and then we've realized, oh gosh, now I've got to do a property business, and I have got to do this kind of marketing, and you know, we're sort of told to go out networking, tell everyone what you do and you'll get given money. Well, that doesn't necessarily always work for everyone. So what would be your advice around getting this plan of action for marketing?
I think the biggest thing for property people especially is this, which is when you get into the property world, it's great because all of a sudden this whole new network of people opens up that you never even knew was there, and all of a sudden your Facebook is like connecting, your LinkedIn is just connected to everybody else that's in property, which is great because we need peers to bounce ideas off with, connect with, maybe like your community and everything. But let's be realistic. There's only going to be a very, very small percentage of people that are in that property group doing what you're looking to do that's got money to give to you. So we need to take it to the next level, really. Have a think about who are your investors and what do they look like? And also, what do you want them to, what type of investor do you want? Because lots of different people could give you 200 grand, for example, but some might be who you want more than others. So you might want to just borrow money off of people and give it back to them with a percentage, which is fine. Or you might want somebody to give you money, but also has a skill. So you work with them and maybe they're a builder or something, but have a clear idea of what that is you're looking for before you go out. And don't just sit in and amongst the other properties, because you might think, well, everyone's doing service accommodation. Like, well, no one's going to invest in me because everyone's already doing it. I already know 5 people that do it in the same area as me. But of course, they're not your investors because they're already doing it. They're on the same course as you. They're learning it. Why are they going to give you the money? Unless they get overwhelmed, think, sod this, it's too much actual work, I'll just give them the money. So we've got to fill our world full of networking's great, but let's get into business network. Let's use LinkedIn for an example. On there is like, I don't even know how many people, but you can connect with up to 30,000 people just to be your number one connections on LinkedIn, which is obviously 6 times more maths there than you can connect with on Facebook. So you can fill your world with potential investors. An ideal person would be somebody, I always use this example, there's a guy that I know, he runs a logistics company not far from us. He actually takes home a lot of money, but his logistics firm is a 24/7 operation. He has to work in it probably 60, 70 hours a week. So, and he probably knows, and he's probably, his accountant said, maybe you need to diversify your wealth, maybe you need to buy some property, get into property, but he hasn't got the time to go and learn, like join Touchstone or someone, and he's got the money, but he hasn't got the time, and maybe he's not got the inclination either, doing that along with the family and things. So we want people like him to see us talking about the property journey we've been on, the success we've got, what we're doing, and to actually get a bit of FOMO and actually it's like attraction marketing that we do. So they reach out to you and say, what is this you're doing? Can I be a part of it? I've got money, but I have no time. Can we work together? That's what you want. So we need to think about, it's the reason we focus on LinkedIn rather than Facebook. You can do it on Facebook, Instagram as well, but it's just easier to connect with people on LinkedIn who seem like your ideal client. So we've got to think, what job titles would they have? And although, and this is more so in northern, or people who are looking to invest in the north often say, oh, just go south and get all the investors. Where are you based, Emma?
I'm down south. You can't get much further. I'm like 7 miles from the sea.
It's so bad though, isn't it? How people just assume like, okay, people in London or people down south have just got all this wealth. Well, no, guess what? People have got wealth up and down the countries in every area of the country. So it's better, I think, to try and find an investors on your patch. You don't have to do this, but I just think the fact that you might bump into that person in Asda and means that you probably feel that your money is safer. So I would rather invest with somebody that was in, I don't know, Leicestershire or something, because that I know where they live. I know people they know that we kind of know mutual people and it just feels better. So I think, and it's also going to be easier for you to find those people if already the rapport that you've got or a connection that you can make and be in common is an area that you're in. So I would always say start in the area that you're in and go for people that you have to employ some kind of stereotypes, obviously, when you're searching, but you can literally search location, director, owner, whatever, and kind of just go out and just connect with abundance, basically, with people. That would be the first thing I'd do, because LinkedIn's not going to work if you've got like 18 connections, is it? So you definitely, like networking, you just go out and meet people and tell people what you're doing. You've got to, on social media, have eyeballs on you, and connecting with the right people is the first step, really.
Okay, and do you think you would need, so with that, talking about LinkedIn, do you need the paid for version? I can't remember what it's called. You don't.
No, you don't need premium. In actual fact, it used to be that you could pay for premium and then be able to connect with more people faster, but they've actually taken that away now. So you can play about with premium if you're like organised and you get the trial for 30 days and make a note in your diary to cancel it before they take a whole year's worth off of you. So you can play about with it a bit. No, honestly, it's not really that useful. I mean, if people are listening to this, it's worth connecting with me if you go and look for Anna Geary, because how it works is you have first degree connections, second degree connections, third. So if you connect with me, I think I've 29,500 people that I'm connected to. So instantly you'll get nearly 30,000 second degree connections, of which, unsurprisingly, a lot of them are in business. Sometimes those type of people are really business property type people. So yeah, go and do that. But so you have got to kind of, I wouldn't waste your money on premium. It's a lot of money, and why you still get a lot of reach on LinkedIn is because LinkedIn make their money from corporates paying out for premium. So they don't sort of hinder us guys that are using it for free, because actually it's nice for us to kind of make the numbers up, but they make their money through the premium lot.
Okay, interesting. So
if you want to do digital marketing, you do need premium, because if you want to run LinkedIn ads, you'll need it, or using Sales Navigator, you'll need it. But if you're looking to do this organic way that we teach, then you don't need it.